Hi, I'm Jason Kacharik, and I am a guitar nerd, and I'd love it if you nerded out with me for a little bit here. This is my 1968 Princeton Reverb, all original amplifier. This is the real deal. It is shiny, and it comes with that 1968 Princeton Reverb smell. It smells really good. Actually, it really does. This is a wonderful amplifier. It's in great condition, as you can see. It sounds fantastic, and I would love to gig with it. But I'm not going to take this actual amp to do that. One, it's a 1968 Princeton. It comes with those 1968 problems. These things have a reputation, like all tube amps, of being a little bit finicky. So if you look at it wrong, it might not work anymore. Also, it's expensive, if it can even be replaced. Good luck finding a 1968 Princeton in this good a shape. Also, it's kind of heavy, and hauling it around and stuff, kind of like, I'm tired of paying my chiropractor, man. Love him, but geez. So, I guess let's do the next best thing. Technology has come so far. We're going to capture this amp into my Neural DSP Quad Cortex here. So, if you don't know about this, it is a great modeler with the capability of capturing your amps and pedals through a pretty easy process. So, I'm excited to try that out here with this amplifier and see how good it does. Compare the sounds right next to each other to see if there's much of a difference and if you can tell the difference. So join me, we're gonna mic up this amp and we're gonna get a couple of bassline sounds. We'll go through the capture process and we'll go from there. Let's go. Alright, we've got everything hooked up, ready to capture this thing. I have got my Princeton Reverb mic'd with a 57, and that's going into the Cortex. It does a fantastic job of guiding you through the whole setup process, so it's pretty incredible. And we're just about to check some levels here and make sure that everything looks good and oh, geez. We're going to make sure that everything looks good. And make sure that nothing's clipping. Looking good so far. So I think we're going to go ahead and hit this thing. Now, be warned, it is going to make a lot of noise. It's going to be loud. So just be warned. Here we go. Let's capture. All right, so moment of truth. After all of that racket, let's see how the Quad Cortex does against the actual Princeton Reverb here. Let's see how close it actually got. It is worth noting that you're going to be listening through the same mic that I did the capture with, and that's something to take note of also. Anything in that capture chain is a part of that capture. So in this case, that 57 was the only thing, but it is colored with that, okay? So what you're going to be hearing is the same exact thing the Cortex heard as a part of that capture, rather. So let's see how it did. Moment of truth. All right, and one interesting thing I'd like to do is throw a little bit of a pedal in front of both of these and see if the similarities are still there. So here we go. This is a Snouse black box on the front end. It's kind of an overdrive pedal, a Marshall Blues Breaker-esque. And so here we are. So there it is. Which one do you think is which? Let me know in the comments which you thought was the amp or which you thought was the Cortex and which one you preferred to hear. I'm not going to reveal that just yet. I'll have the big reveal in a future video, so it'll be coming up in the near future. So make sure you subscribe, and while you're at it, like this video. See, there's the YouTube thing. Haha, I did it. So anyway, thanks for hanging out with me and nerding out with me over this last little bit. It was a blast doing all this. This is something I've been wanting to do for a while, and thanks for coming along with me on this journey. The ending clip here is going to be kind of a jam in a full band mix. I wanted to see how well the Cortex and the Princeton stack up against each other. Can you tell the difference in that also? So anyway, thanks again for hanging out with me for this last little bit. I've had a blast. I hope you had fun. I hope you found this informative, and just keep on rocking. We'll catch you next time.